Right. Player ratings are in. United 4, Brighton 2. It's the United Matters channel. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as don't miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and yesterday went ahead to obviously bring you what we call the match reaction of Man United beating Brighton, a game that really ended nervy, and the club of Manchester United had to see Brian Mbeumo coming in through and putting that ball into the back of the net, Mbomo. That's what he told us when he was with Rio Ferdinand. He was really teaching us how to pronounce his name. Now, in goal, it was none other than Seny Lamens. I've gone ahead to see people say he's really short, but I think he really does the job, and the height won't matter. What will matter is how many goals will he cross his line. I don't think that for the second goal he's on to blame, but for the first goal, that free kick, he would have gone ahead to do far much better. But it's his third game at Old Trafford. I don't have a lot to say about him. The good thing is that we've gone ahead to get in those points, and we've gone ahead to win 3 consecutive games since, I think, the August of 2024 in there. So that is Man United for you. And for me, Seny Lamens goes ahead to obviously get a 7 out of 10 from my side. The back three, Tokov, Lenny Yoro, 7.5 out of 10 for me. I really like the way he really closed down that side, and he really put in a very huge shift that was really very defensive, and I really went ahead to love it die. I tell you that. That is Lenny Yoro for you. You understand? So from Lenny Yoro, we go to Luke Shaw, played on the left side of the 3-man central defense. He takes a 7.5 out of 10. His leadership and experience is really very important into what the club of Manchester United is going to look like. And United will be at its best, especially onto the left attacking side of the midfield, when Lisandro Martinez gets back. I know when Lisandro Martinez gets back, the club of Manchester United will have to play Luke Shaw as a left wing back. That is it. Because the manager is playing Diego Dallo, though Dallo is representing to the fullest and playing very well, because Patrick Dogo has not lived up to his expectations in there. So that's why it's really happening like this. You understand? That's why it's really happening like this in there for you. So for the side of Luke Shaw 7.5, Matthias de Ligt, the commander of that central defense, man who has almost played every minute in this Premier League season for the club of Manchester United. He's the glue to that back three. He deserves a very huge go in there. And a shout out goes to him. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. Guys, he looked solid, and none of those goals can be blamed to him. And one thing you have to give him is that he has been the most consistent player at the club of Manchester United alongside Brian Mbeumo. You understand? Those players have been really consistent, and they've not gone away. They've not gone away anytime, every time the club of Manchester United needed them. That is the back three for the club of Manchester United. We go to the right wing back, Amadi Diallo, 8 out of 10 for me. That's my rating for him. The lad is also consistent, though in some games he really looked bad, but in these previous 2-3 games, he has obviously brought in his A game that has gone ahead to help the club of Manchester United. And my worry is when we get into what we call the international, when we get to the African Cup of Nations, from the 21st, I think from the 15th of December to May, because all these players play for teams that can obviously find themselves in a position of really playing into what we call the African Cup of Nations, and they can play into the finale, right? So that means until mid-January, we won't be having these two players. We are talking about Brian Mbeumo and Amadi Diallo. We go to Diego Dallo, 8 out of 10. Many have gone ahead to discredit him, ridicule him, but I've stood on with him. and you now know what that lad brings up onto our game. He's very important in what United has gone ahead to obviously get. We go to Casemiro, who played into the double pivot with Bruno Fernandes. His first half game by numbers: 75% ground duels won, 24 total touches, 4 ball recoveries, 3 passes into the final third, 1 shot, 1 assist, 1 goal. That is Carlos Casemiro for you. And he had a goal. 8.5 out of 10 is the rating I'm giving Carlos Casemiro for you in there. We go to Bruno Fernandes. For the second goal, was it the third? An assist from Bruno Fernandes in there. And even that zero pass that he does for Bryan Mbeumo to make it 4-2 to get us our 4-goal lead. That was really very, very, very important in here. And I tell you what, he takes an 8 out of 10 for me. That is Bruno, 8.5 out of 10 for a Bruno Fernandes Borges. You understand? That is Bruno Fernandes for you. We are done with the mid 4. Let's go to the left number 10. That is Matheus Cunha. 60 touches, 9 offensive contributions, 3 passes into the final third, 3 attempted take-ons, 3 successful take-ons, 2 chances created, 2 shots on target, 2 fouls won, and 1 goal. That is Matheus Cunha for you. And for me, a 9 out of 10 for Matheus Cunha. That is it. I don't know what you're giving him, but for me, I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. We go to Bryan Mbeumo. 89% passing accuracy, 7 defensive contributions, 5 attempted take-ons, 4 successful take-ons, 4 passes into the final third, 4 touches into the box, 3 shots, 2 fouls won, 2 big chances created, 2 goals. That is Bryan Mbeumo for you. You understand? So that is Bryan Mbeumo for you. And I tell you what, he has a 9.5 out of 10 as his rating into this particular fixture that saw United win Brighton by 4-2. Now, for Benjamin Sesko, he had an assist, and in the previous 3 games, he has a goal against Brentford, goal against Sunderland, and a goal against Brighton. And those are what we call, in the last 3 games, he has gone ahead to start. We excluding the game of Liverpool. Why? For the game of Liverpool, he came off the bench, and he takes a 7.5 out of 10 from me. Let's go to the substitutes. They brought on Kobe Mainoo, 7 out of 10. Aiden Heaven, 7.5 out of 10. I saw Aiden came on. Joshua Zexi, 7 out of 10. That is it. That's what I'm really giving him as a player. Then Patrick Dogu, 6.5 out of 10. Manuel Ugarte, 7 out of 10. That is it. And that's what went ahead, obviously, get in from that match. The manager, 8 out of 10. And my man of the match is none other than Bryan Mbeumo. I don't know who your man of the match is, but I know most of you will agree with me that Bryan Mbeumo has been your man of the match because he scored a brace, and those 2 goals were really very important, It was 2-0 and he made it 3, and when it was 3-2, he made it 4. That is Bryan Mbeumo for you. I just loved what he put out in there, and his output has given him the man of the match with a 9.5 out of 10 rating, right? So let's wait and see how things really pan out for this team of Man United as they prepare to play away at Nottingham Forest. That is next weekend. We are obviously going to be enjoying what we call the fantasy videos. Look out for the Fantasy View Global. That's where you'll obviously find me doing fantasy and seeing how my players have gone to score points. Cunha got me some good points in there for you as he represented for the club of Manchester United and scored a goal. And I was of a view that I'm getting him out of my team, but with that performance, I might not obviously make a transfer in this midweek. But you can as well look out for those players that have gone ahead, obviously look good and nice. I'm out.